Okay, hello everyone. This is Mr. Manousis Chiretis. I'm entering this session from Crete, Greece, and the session is recorded. The reason is that I'm a judge in the Art Society competition for the city-state, and it coincides with the same time as the time is programmed to speak online. So I would like to start with my presentation, please, which has the title of All Space to All. That means that all space, all universe, all cosmos has to be given and used from all of us humans. You can see my name, my webpage, and my LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, if you want to contact me and give me your questions after you see the session. I would prefer them in writing, no calls or Facebook messages or messages on LinkedIn, so I can answer you exactly on the exact question that you will pose me. Right. So first of all, I want to speak about the ancient times. The ancient times of the Minoans, that they were seeing the universe as a tool that helped them travel around the Earth, around the space, on the flat surfaces of the Earth and the sea. And I would like to point out some of the work of my friends, Mr. Dr. Minas Tsikritsis and Xenophon Moussas has done recently over the last few years, that they have proven that the Minoans were using the so-called frying pans, that they have pointed on them all the signs and all the data they wanted to know in order to navigate using the stars, navigating through the seas. You can read about all these details because we have a limited time to analyze all the details on them on the papers that you will see on at the end of this presentation. This is the Antikythera mechanism, which is the oldest computer of Cosmos. And it comes from the 2nd century BC. There's a lot of work being done on this one. And the item actually is the first computer that does computation about the stars and how they interrelate their movements and what the humans can benefit from the use of this computer. Right, here we have at the top an ancient Minoan ship from 1500 BC that was found in Santorini, Thera. And at the bottom, we have the exact replica of this ship that was constructed and tested on open sea during a 210 nautical miles trip at the 2004 Athens Olympics. The trip was from Crete to Piraeus, near Athens, and I was privileged to be part of this crew rowing the ship for 210 nautical miles. This ship was constructed from scratch with the materials of the time and the technology and the science known at the time. It's something really, really special in the naval world. And it proves that with this ship, the ancient Minoans could actually travel on seas from all around the world. Here is the proof of that. It's a recent proof that we have from the findings that have been found in the United States area in northern Canada, which prove that the Minoans, with the ships that they were constructing, they could travel all around the globe, really. Now we come to the modern days. Over the last maybe 60, 70 years, we can see here an array of spaceships, space machines, launchers that have been developed and successfully worked on any kind of work that we wanted to do in space. It's just a list of them. There are many more of them, but as you can see, some of them are the Saturn family, the Proton, the Soyuz, the X-15 on a B-52. We have the Space Shuttle Orbiter. We have the Shenzhou spacecraft and the Tiangong. We have the Spaceship One, Spaceship Two, Atlas, the ITS, the Orion, the Ankara. At the bottom of the presentation is something really new and totally different from what is already being done over the last 70 years, which involves a launcher or a launched system from an airplane. The system below is called Skylon spacecraft, and it is based on Sabre synergetic air-breathing rocket engine. This engine actually is an engine that is an air-breathing engine and a rocket in the same time. With this engine, the spacecraft can be used as an aircraft and take off and land from airstrips, from airways, from runways, and go outside the atmosphere, enter space, deliver cargo or whatever, and return back and land again as a normal airplane. This kind of solution is potentially the cheapest solution of all the previous solutions that have been done. So I list here a table of the costs of the various solutions already existing or nearly achieved. As you can see, the conventional boosters deliver a $10,000 per kilogram solution to send something to space. The Falcon 9 expendable brings that down to $6,000 per kilogram. The Falcon 9 reusable, the first stage, brings it down to $3,000 per kilogram. And the Falcon 9 reusable is $2,000. The Starship brings it down to $250 per kilogram. Now, the reaction engines with the system Skylon Sabre vehicle is actually at $10,000 per kilogram, with an exception that we will see further down. The Falcon 9 here, the Falcon 9 reusable, with 10 launches, 10 flights of the Falcon 9 can bring it the cost of the space delivery of 1 kilogram to $200. The Starship times 10 flights can take it down to $25 per kilogram. Now, the reaction engine Skylon Sabre vehicle, which is 100 maybe more times, because it's an airplane and can be reused and reused and reused again and again and again, can bring down the cost to $10 per kilogram. So that's, especially the three last solutions, can bring the cost of space travel down to the limit that we can do absolutely anything we want with space in terms of delivering people, cargo, or whatever. So let's do a comparison now between nature and human technology. The modern successful human use systems of space science and technology goes like that. There is an aircraft, the Antonov Mriya, Antonov 225, which is the strongest lifting power aircraft that needs 100% of its body weight in fuel for a 16-hour flight. Then it's nature, the golden eagle. The golden eagle is the strongest lifting power bird in nature or kingdom, and it needs just 10% of its body weight in food for a 16-hour flight. So the conclusion from this comparison is that we are 10 times less efficient than nature in flight lifting abilities, and there is huge way of improvement ahead. Please note that that insect efficiencies have not been considered. Right, now, the space mission types. What are the space mission types? The space mission types are the unmanned missions for exploration, exploitation of Moon, Mars, asteroids, black hole space in general. Another one is manned missions. People in the spacecrafts that will go and return and do whatever they do in space. Then is the cargo missions. Missions that they will be designed and missioned just to send cargo to space. And then is the Earth or other settlement protection missions. It's another mission, is security and safety missions. And then is space tourism. Right, so there's competition passions in space over the last 17 years, maybe more, which is national, private, personal, technical, pride or ego. So 60 years of the best space relevant brains of humanity was working, having passionate competition as the driver in an endless loop for fly further, faster, higher, cheaper. 40 years of them has taken 60% of top brain working on Cold War technologies. And that sounds insane. That means that we spend and we use the best brains, the best things we know, the best brains, the best people we have, in order to create, maintain, and sustain warfare. Just warfare, okay? So now, Liberty of Daedalus and Icarus. As you know, the myth of Daedalus and Icarus was developed here in Crete, Heraklion, Knossos, where I currently live and speak to you. The ancient Greeks, the ancient Hellenes and Minoans were saying need convinces gods, right? So space exodus will not be achieved as a result of the need of Earth overpopulation, lack or resources on Earth, or war conflict avoidance. Space exodus will be done as a result of the core will of every fellow human to live within the ethical liberty ideal in progressive, peaceful societies in cosmos. So now there is a trilemma, a mentality mindset choice. So far so good, but for serious Moon, Mars, space, humanity exodus, there is a critical trilemma to be answered from all as to concentrate and focus all possible human power and power we can achieve to prevail successful and enter a more ideal level of being to the one we have historically achieved so far. So the first part of the trilemma is, shall we neglect space-saving procedure and continue auto-destruction, fighting between us via modern fake controversies, devising vicious plots between nations or private company materialistic profit interests or cryptic public institutions? This happened for about 3,000 years as far as history and archaeology tells. So that was the first part of the trilemma. The second part of the trilemma, the second leg of the trilemma, is, shall we use space as a resource competition fantasy minefield for our passions fulfilling, like lust of curiosity, gluttony for resources control, greed for wealth in comparison with others, sloth for doing less for more, wrath responses against others' disliked actions, envy of others' achievements, or pride that we did something special and others not. This happened for about a century regarding space only. So now is the third part of the trilemma. Shall we peacefully prevail to the universe with the participation of all for the kindest benefit of all? There is infinite room for everyone and all together at once. This is what will take us there. More than three mentalities, mindsets, are pragmatically coexistent in our lives. We every day live that. The two first are impeding the right third one. They block it. Maybe 95% of our efforts to become multiplanetary inhabitants is wasted through the two impeding mentalities and ways of being. That is why humanity have not achieved the potential needed to accumulate the powers and resources to do it fast, do it successfully, and do it for all. So the true right choice through, though, is choice number 3, which leads to the solution, all cosmos to all now. Right, so here is a sort of vision of Asteres SA, which is an under construction organization that thinks to work about space too, as well as aeronautical engineering and inventions, innovations on aeronautical and aerospace. So the 5 functions of that organization that is needed in order to do the work to direct humanity, the 8 billion living beings of this Earth, to space, needs an international space organization. 1, solid international space organization. We need to establish ISO with eventual distributed participation of all nations, states, space investors under a common global constitution made to fulfill sustain the scope of moving humanity to expand and progress to space. Direct all data, all space data, information, knowledge, and resources to the common human scope. The second thing is that we need an international space policies organization, ISPO, devising political innovative system for space use and applied gradually on human mentality. The system must be able to transfigurate continuously itself according to the necessary needs to sustain prosperity anywhere in space under all circumstances. Bring all fellow humans to repentance mental condition regarding space use for the benefit of all humanity on Earth and space environment, as well as near and far space. Okay. Work to bring back the original ideal standard mindset state regarding space. This was developed from the Minoans, had been delivered more or less to all human cultures and citizens. And I want to say a bit more on that. Minoans traveling for thousands of years around Earth, they were delivering the way of actually living, the way of thinking, the way of doing things for the benefit of all. If someone checks all their existence, will very easily understand how they were doing it and how they put their minds first in order to progress using technology and using astrology, using science, using nature, using everything that is existent for the benefit of all. So inspiring the elimination of war defense expenses is something else that must be done. Encouraging only peace force military expenses. Only in case some part of humanity turns against another for any reason. Encourage the establishment of peace ministries to replace the current name defense ministries. that used to be war ministries a century ago. International Space Resource Bank. We need to create a financial investment bank dedicated to generate money with men and women, for men and women, material resources through peaceful practices to support ISO, ISPO programs, as well as all the other functions that our organization needs to do to function. Number 4 is the International Space Technology Organization. This is another leg, another part of the 5. We need to establish a technology organization, an international one, as to set the technical targets for lowest cost per launch, as well as lower cost per person for space exodus, using political, economic, social, technology, environmental, and mental analysis, as well as the SWOT analysis, the known SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and other available analysis in order to be able to do it technologically the best way for all. The 5th is international space education. We need to educate people in all levels of school, academia, professional, social, about space. Use of all possible methods, modern learning we can offer to transfigurate quickly Earth's people into potential space population. You see, on this convention, there is about 7,000 people attending, and there are maybe a few million of people that they are seriously interested in space, but we are 8 billion. In order to go to space, we need to put 8 billion getting involved into that. We need to do it for all. It has to be for all. So the Asteres 5-in-1 vision and potency is, as we all know well, liberty and liberation of anything impedent and stagnant is an endless relief that all free people want. We labor hard as to elevate our existence from matter to higher moral and higher morals. Liberty uses our intelligence, transforming materials into resources that power this unstoppable natural urge we all are made with. Successful human space expansion is not a matter of competition among entities or individuals. It is a matter of the tightest possible cooperation and contribution of love, which means sacrifice, donation, giving to, from all to all. So let's let everything peacefully boils down into our wisdoms and successfully achieve humanity expansion to space that will happen like a miracle if we do the previous. Space exodus and human expansion to Mars is not a matter of fulfilling our materialistic passions. Although all matter and wealth is infinite and gifted to us, destined for the purpose we choose to use, space exodus is about human peaceful existence continuation that will expand us from about 8 billion to whatever number in the future, that we are currently the potential to any number, letting us grow, multiply, and sovereign all cosmos, because simply all cosmos is given to us, as I previously said. Cosmos is infinite, and it is expanding according to the modern knowledge of physics we know. So it is created for all us fellow humans. It's up to us to do what we have to do with it. It is as simple to do it as being thirsty and reach the water source running next to us, to drink the fresh running water, only if we really want it. Today, we are just next to the running source of that water, which is the technology and economic tools and so many other resources that can fully support us and facilitates our possible full will to go to the moon, to Mars, and beyond. It will take all our will, all our knowledge, and all our actions to do it. Why not doing it? That's the question. For me, there is absolutely no reason of why not doing it, as I previously explained. Now, I would like to acknowledge the contributions of friends. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Robert Zubring and the Mars Society people for all the things that they are doing, and they will too. And I would like to thank them for calling me in to be, first of all, a judge on the competition that we have, and then a speaker. Then I would like to thank Dr. Minas Tsikridis, a very good friend of mine, who has done so much work about the Minoan civilization. And of course, I'd like to thank Professor Xenophon Moussas for his work that you can see it published on the online on the addresses that are given there. And of course, I'd like to thank Admiral Apostolos Koutis, which is a friend of mine. He is the man who did all the work on the Minoan ship, and he was actually the captain of the ship during the trip from Chania, Crete to Piraeus during the 2004 Olympic Games. I would like to thank the Naval Museum of Crete, which, if you come for vacations here in Crete, you can go and see the ship there. It's being in exhibition status. My presentation is based on and has some information taken from my published papers, which is Make Humanity Space Again. In there, you can see all the bits and pieces and details about the things that I didn't have the time within this half an hour to speak to you. So, to all known and unknown who helped with or without their consciousness for any reason and with any way, I would like to send a great big thanks. And I'd like to wish to all of you kindest cosmotheosis from all of us in the world to all of us in the world. It's actually up to us. Thank you very much, and I hope I'll see you next year without the COVID-19 problems, and I hope I see very rapid change, expansion of the space movement internationally. I will be available to answer any questions. I prefer in written form, and I will be able to do that over the forthcoming time. Thank you very much again. Thanks.